What's up, guys, and welcome back to Tech Planet. Today we're going to be talking about both of my giant pothos, where they're at, what kind of went wrong, what's going good. Let's check it out. Alright, so the first one I want to talk about is the actual giant original OG pothos. This is the one we started many years ago. I want to say probably 3, maybe encroaching on 4 years. Probably not, actually. Probably about 3 solid years, I would say. It started out as a giant node and has slowly gotten bigger and bigger. And it started to regress a little bit. I fixed things, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But more surprisingly, we did get one variegated leaf, which is pretty wild to me. It was a pretty big surprise. No fenestrations on these newer leaves, but they're starting to get back to that point where I think they will soon. So I'm happy to see that because they did start to fall a little bit. Now, it might be kind of hard to actually see this, but right here, if I put the leaves away a little bit, you can see I did try an air layer, but the only issue is with this air layer, I ended up using cocoa core and perlite, and it just doesn't seem to be working that well. I don't think it's rooted at all, and we're still going off the base roots in the actual pot here. So I'm definitely going to retry with some sphagnum moss and see how that works. Another critical issue you can see here is we have overshot the actual plank. I was not keeping track of it, and now we're going to have another issue, which I tried to solve originally because this was growing a little wonky. It kept getting off of things, but I'm going to try and start yet another plank, and maybe that's where I'll air layer it right here and get a whole new start, because I really like this whole variegated stuff here, and I want to make this work because it's doing really well again, and I'd hate to set it back by chopping it too early. So we're going to try and do some air layering. But yeah, overall, I'm really satisfied with the growth. It's been 3 years. I have really not taken great care of it, but he's still maintained to put out these bigger leaves. I do definitely want to air layer it before I get the next plank going because I want to preserve this size. You will see with the other one from the Pothos contest that I decimated it when I just cut it without doing any air layering. So with that being said, let's jump over to that one. And so here is the Great Pothos Race Pothos, and you can see it's looking pretty darn sad. If you do recall, at the very end of the challenge, I did just straight up chop it and then replanted it. I was hoping the roots that were already in the wood would like catch up and fill the pot fast, and the plant would just keep growing on its merry way. However, it absolutely decimated the progress. The plant stopped growing completely for like 4 or 5 months, and just recently it started putting out some leaves. This one is the better looking one. However, this is the newest leaf, and it kind of got eaten by thrips or something, I don't know, but it's all curved, so I'm going to have to get this one wrapped with plastic to get it back on track and get another plank because it's about to like go over that, especially with how it's curving here. But again, just like I hinted at the previous plant, if you're going to take your plants off the pole and sort of start over again, make sure you air layer. I would say with sphagnum moss, because I do have like dirt and cocoa core in a pot, and it is not rooted in there at all. So do the plastic bag sphagnum moss trick, and you should be good to go when it comes to like actually repotting this thing, and you won't have to wait 5 months like I did for it to start growing again. For me, it doesn't really matter because it's just less like maintenance I have to do. It just kind of sat in hibernation mode, but when it's not actively growing, it's pretty easy to kill these things in my opinion because you can like overwater them because they're just so shocked. But I'm glad it pulled through and it's growing. But yeah, this is the update of the Great Pothos Race. Not looking good. I just saw actually a video of Jeff's, and his is still looking nice and healthy because he hasn't chopped it yet. But yeah, hopefully mine bounces back pretty well, and we get it to look like the Jade Pothos over here on the right. So hope you guys enjoyed this update. It wasn't really anything insane. I just want to show you where the giant pothos are at because a lot of people are curious about them. And as always, guys, may your plants go strong and healthy. Keep experimenting, and I'll see you next time.